This is a remake of nested if statements in Excel 2007. The last one had a lot of background noise, so I'm trying to make it over without it. So, to begin, how the nested if statement looks. It's an if statement in an if statement in its simplest form. So, your if statement is equal if, a bracket, the logic you want to test, whether it's true what you put for true, and you usually put another if statement in the false place because if your logic is true, you will just return what you want. But if it's not true, that is when you want to check again. So you put another logic and true or false, what you want to return when it's false. This bracket matches up with this one, and then you have your last bracket which matches up with this one. So I'll just write it over in a neat, kind of neat way using actual figures. So let's try this. If x is greater than y, we want x to get a a plus or a. So let's give x a a. And if x is not greater than y, that means x is less than y. So let's check x against something else. So if x is greater than w, let's give x a b. And we check in again. If x is less than w, we want to do a different check. So that means if x is greater than v, let's give x a c. And if x is not greater than v, let's give x a d. And then you put your brackets to match each other. These guys go there, and this last guy comes all the way up there. You just have to count the ifs, and that's how much brackets you put at the end. Make sure it line up. So what this says is, if x is greater than y, we give x a grade, and we just ignore the rest. That's what the computer will do. But if x is not greater than y, x is less than y, we ignore that, and then the computer will come to this one. Excel will come to that and use this if statement, and it'll check this. If x is greater than w, if it's true, it does that part, ignores here. But if it's not true, it comes here and ignores the true part. Then it does its last check. If x is greater than v, give him a c, else ignore that, give him a d. So I left out those quotes. Yes, give him a d. So that's basically how a nested if statement works. So you can, when you write it, you won't have these kind of columns, so it'll just be a straight line. So let's try one in Excel. This is the sample data. From before, it had a simple if statement there already. I'll just fill it in. We wanted to test that with that and give the child good or bad. And then autofill. Right, so that's what we had in the previous movie. In this movie, we want to check the grading system the parent provided for the child. So if the child spends less than $101, it will be a great child. So he's spending $100, go down. If he spend more than $251, we want to send him to get a job. So let me just put in a heading, grade. Right. So let's begin. We're going to check what kind of grade Jack gets. So we begin equal if, and we check in Jack's total. 1 minute. Just to fix the problem, the size is too big, so just drop that back down to 11 points. Right. So if put your brackets. Jack's total is less than 101. That means he spent only $100 go down. Then Jack is a great child. But if it's more than 101, that means he in this range or this range or this range or this range. We want to check and see which part he is. So let's put another if statement. So we're checking the total again and comparing it to the next one in the range. So the next comparison is 101 to 150. So if it's less than 151, that means Jack is a nice kid. 151. Right? So we'll just click on the cell and it'll return nice kid for us if it's true. But if it's false, we have to check the other ranges. So we click Jack's total again. Less than 201. So if it's less than 201, good kid. And you can see it's basically the same thing over and over if checking the value with the range, and then you're putting in what you want to display when it's true, what you want to display when it's false. So we will just continue if brackets, click on the total, less than 251, comma, I want it to be psi. Else the only other thing it can be is greater than 251. So that means you have to set them to get a job. Right? So that's the whole statement there. If it is less than 251, we say, and if it's greater than 251, that means it comes to this part, we send them to get a job. So we have 4 ifs in there, that means we need 4 brackets. You can now just count it right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you click OK. So this is the value we should get because he is in that range. 220 is in that range. So now we do some magic and get the rest of values. And something is wrong. What happened is, let me just double click to show you. Jack is referencing the cells properly because we use this one to do the calculations. So you notice that all of these are selected by these pretty colors. So if we press escape and we double click on John, we will see that John's cells are going down. They leave out great kid and add in an empty cell. So they are going down as we go to the bottom, to James. When you click on James, we see they went all the way down, only great job is selected. The problem is we are not using absolute referencing. To do that, we just want to go on Jack if statement, and we want to absolutely reference B10 to B14. So everywhere we see B10 to B14, you can select the whole thing, and on your keyboard you're pressing F4, right? That will absolutely reference great kid. And B11, you just have to click by it and press F4, B12, F4, B13, F4, B14, F4, and then you press enter. So nothing will change for this because it was already in place, but when you autofill the rest, you get good kid, psi, go get a job, nice kid. So nobody is a great kid because they spend too much money. And that is basically how you do a nested if statement. I'll just make this feel bigger for you. And just scroll along here and double click so you can see the if statement nice and big. This approach was using less than, but you can try it using greater than and see if you come with the same result. You should. Your if statement may just be a little bit different. Okay, it will be a little bit different. It will be kind of backwards. compared to this one, but you'll get the same results. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching.